So I love to see it. I really do. This stuff, boycott. So we're at that park place. That park place, not the park place, not a park place. That park place. Uh, Genshin Impact revenue increases over 8% in spite of active boycott against game and developer. So that's what happens, I guess, when these boycotters don't know how to boycott. So I went over and I showed that basically the people boycotting were basically saying just go free to play, as if that made a difference. Boycotting is not playing the game at all. Boycotting is saying, well, I'm going to uninstall this game until we have more melanin in our games. No, but they were just they just said go free to play. They had a bunch of pictures like go free to play queens. But so, you know, they didn't know that just because you don't pay for the game, the time you play is still, that's also taken into account, and that's good for investors as well. Yes, they didn't know that. Um, I also, I just love how badly the left boycotts. There's a couple things we know for sure. The left can't meme and they can't boycott. Whenever something is boycotted by them, it just gets more popular. The one thing I can think of was a couple years ago was with Goya, the food brand, and people were like, "Oh, we need to boycott Goya because the president of the company or CEO, whoever it was, supports evil orange Cheeto Man." And so they were like, "We need to boycott because he supports a person we don't like." And so the right goes out and not only buys like all the Goya products in stock, to where they had to start limiting Goya products like one or two cans per person. But the people buying that would like then donate the stuff to like homeless shelters and then food pantries and stuff. And then so the revenue and then all that for Goya just it went up. Like people are going online showing shelves completely empty of Goya products. So yeah, the left can't meme and the left can't boycott. It's if you're gonna boycott something, go through with it. I said the last time, it's like saying you're gonna boycott McDonald's, but then still like ordering food from there and just getting it like DoorDash or something. Like you're still supporting them. Well, I'm not going to the physical restaurant. I'm not supporting them, but you're still buying their food. It's like if you're gonna boycott Genshin Impact, then don't play the game. You don't just say, "Oh, go free to play," because then you're still supporting it by playing it. Of course, the boycott was done by a bunch of kids anyway, so really, what do you expect? And a bunch of people who are my representation. Which also, go to Natland. Go to Natland, listen to the music. Some of it sounds like you're in the Lion King, which takes place in Africa. So I said numerous times, the landscape, the how they dress, the culture, and this and that, that's all represented of where they're getting inspiration from. And yet these people want to complain about, oh, my skin color. A boycott of Genshin Impact and Hoyoverse was launched back in July. Was it really that short time ago? I feel like it was longer than that. With a petition titled "Stop Cultural Appropriation and Whitewashing Mihoyo Games." Also, good on Mihoyo for not, you know, giving in. Don't you never bend the knee to these people. You give them an inch, they're gonna take a mile. You make one character darker or something, and then they're just gonna keep going, and they're gonna make more demands and more demands and more demands. So never apologize, never bend the knee, because enough is never enough for these people, because they don't want to have a game they can enjoy. They want a game where they can see themselves, because representation for them is more important than a fun game, which is a pretty sad way to live. The petition states We call on Mihoyo to stop cultural appropriation and whitewashing in their games and to commit to respectful and accurate representation of all cultures. Despite the fact that, again, the music makes you feel like you're in Africa or, you know, anywhere that it's supposed to make you feel. If it's supposed to make you feel like you're in Japan, it makes you feel like you're in Japan. It, it, it's kind of stupid that they associate the representation of the area with skin color when there might be areas with a diverse group of people or so. But I'm pretty sure not only black people live in Africa. I mean, look at South Africa. So, people aside, people aside, you've got the music, you've got the food, you've got the culture, you've got the landscape, you got the clothing, all these other things that represent the area. And all they can complain about is my skin color. We mean my melanin. It continues, Mihoyo, a leading game development company, has repeatedly taken inspiration from indigenous cultures without proper representation and respect. Yeah, apart from the landscape, the culture, the customs, the food, the music, but sure, just failing to represent these places. Again, go into the game, go into just list, turn the music all the way up because some people may not even hear the music; it might be turned down for them. But go to these places and just listen to the music. Listen to the music. They don't ever talk about the other stuff that represents these areas. Nope, only the skin color. In particular, the many characters from Sumeru and Outland and Genshin Impact and Penacony, in Honkai Rail, Star Rail, are all clear white or only lightly tanned at best, with the exception of some enemy NPCs, which have sparked concerns over racism. See, this is what happens. This is why these people are so miserable. These are the people who are the ones online saying, "Oh, well, the orcs are problematic because they're associated with black people." It's like, no, you're associating them with black people. I've never looked at an orc and thought black person. Or what was it? Was it Magic the Gathering or Dungeon? One of them with this species and like monkeys in space, and they had, and same thing. People were like, "Oh, these are associated with black people." I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't look at these awesome looking, awesomely designed monkeys and think black person. That's you. So no one is going to look at NPCs that are lightly dark, just slightly darker in the game and think black person. No one is going to do that. No one is going to do that. And if you do, you're the racist. These people just keep exposing who they are. Oh no, it's a darker NPC. This is totally a black person. No, you don't think that. Hide your Mora, kids. These people are known to steal. Like, seriously. Next, it does declare. It does declare now. Cultural appropriation and whitewashing perpetuate harmful stereotypes and diminish the rich cultural heritage of indigenous communities. I wonder what they think now that they've had a chance to go through Sumeru and see the customs and see the landscaping and, interact with the NPCs and get in the story. And no, still not going to be good enough because my melanin. These practices not only misrepresent cultures, but also contribute to ongoing marginalization and disrespect. It then issues a list of demands, like they're in any place to make demands. Mihoyo 2, engage with indigenous cultural consultants like Sweet Baby Inc. Revise existing content to ensure accurate representation. Commit to creating diverse and inclusive characters. And in a game that has, I don't know how many millions of people playing, 109,000. On top of the petition, an X account called Hoyoverse Boycott declared, I do declare. I think it's safe to say that we have all had enough of the no, just you have, because you guys are too sensitive about this crap. You go into a game looking for representation. You go into games not to have fun, but to see yourself. And if that is how you go through life, you're going to have a miserable life. Well, they're well-written characters, but I understand that they're going through hardships and you know, but I can't relate to the character. I can't see they're not the same skin color as me. So I just can't relate to them. Do you see how stupid that sounds? So if these are the people going through life, not able to connect with people or characters simply because my melanin, you're gonna have a miserable life. Today I introduce you all to Boycott Hoyoverse. We will be an account sharing how you can boycott. Spread the word. Anything helps. Except for not playing the game. Nope, you won't do that. And I would do anything for Genshin Impact Boycott, but I won't do that. There has been a distant lack of darker skin tones represented in the game. Characters from these cultures are actively being heavily referenced, but are being whitewashed. This is especially noticeable and ever present in not only Sumeru and Atlan, but in other nations. And I've gone over that. It's like, what other nations? China. Liyue is based on China. Inazuma is based on Japan. Mondstadt's based on Germany and European area. Fontaine is based on France and apparently slightly part England. So, what other places are you talking about? Snezhnaya, even though Snezhnaya is not released yet, it's going to be based on Mother Russia. It's very cold in Russia. That is why Snezhnaya is frozen over. It's based on Russia. But sure, just tell me what other places are not being represented. The boycott appeared to completely fail in the month of July as Hoyoverse revenue increased 10% across 3 major titles. In comparison, Hoyoverse grossed 163 million in June from just Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail. That's an 8.8% increase in revenue from month to month. We're just getting started. Following the seeming failure of the boycotters promised they would escalate their. Oh no. Are they gonna not talk about the game now? Hoyoverse better watch out. Not only are they still playing, but going free to play, but now they're not gonna talk about it. No, we're just getting started. The boycott isn't going anywhere until we achieve our goals. We will keep escalating until Hoyoverse stops whitewashing and provides authentic representation. No saying how you're gonna escalate? Harbinger Girls posted, remember to keep boycotting and talking about the petition. Representation matters. No, it doesn't. Only if you're a miserable fuck who can't find enjoyment in anything. The user added, don't forget to sign the petition if you haven't already. Up front, yep. That. You have no idea how happy I would be if they legitimately boycotted every piece of media that we consume and played their Concord. Yeah. It's good to see these boycotters fall hard on their ass. censor Chinese gacha garbage. It's a good game. Have you tried it? The reverse Midas touch. But yeah, it's they one, the left just can't boycott. They just can't. Two, considering it was mostly comprised of kids, and these kids seem to think, and when I say kids, these are like, teenagers to young, early 20 somethings. I'm old, so, they're kids. But we're gonna boycott the game. Go free to play, Queens. Nuvalet says go free to play, Queens, and that's what they were doing. You go to the. Actually, let me bring it up. Okay, so I was on their page, and I saw this. Spot the difference. China, Germany, Japan, not real. Have you been to Inazuma? While the landscape is very Japanese-esque, the color scheme, it's basically all blue and purple. Tell me, if you go to Japan, is the landscape there blue and purple? I don't think so. Almost as if this is a video game. Almost as if this is a video game. Who would have thought? And of course, freaking cowards, as usual. Cowards be cowering. Where is it? I need to find the original post, but that's... Actually, wait. Let's see. Media... Go free to play, Monarch. See if we can find more. How far till only 20? Boycott. Also, they apparently are setting up a website and having ambassadors. I mean, they can take this as serious as they want. It's not going to matter in the slightest. Well, maybe some of those pictures, they're a lot further down, I think. Go free to play, students. God. No. Go free to play, comrades. Keep boycotting. Go free to play, Queens. Go free to play. Free to play, Queens. So you can just see the go free to play, Queens, because, you know. So yeah, this was their boycott. Not just don't play the game. Go free to play, Queens. And you're seeing it for yourself. This is from their page. The Hoyoverse boycott. This was their big plan. To just boycott the game by going free to play. Gee, can't imagine why it failed. Because again, even though you may not pay for the game, it still gets the numbers of how long you played. So if these people aren't playing the game, aren't paying for it, but are still playing for several hours, that's still good for investors. It's like, well, this game is popular. People are playing it for a long time. I mean, go free to play, Queens. But yeah, that was their big plan. It's all part of the plan. And here we go. Like, seriously, look at it. It doesn't stop. Go free to play. Go free to play. That was their big idea. That was the major big brain strategy, this winning strategy. Because again, the left can't meme and the left can't boycott. It's just a proven fact at this point. And again, if you're going into a game where there's already an amount of representation through the culture and the customs and the food that Hoyo has put into the game, and the clothing that the people are wearing, and the music, and the terrain, and all you care about is, well, they're really good characters, and I play their story, and I really understand their struggles. They didn't have a great life, but I can't relate to them because their skin color isn't the same as mine. If that's how you think, you're gonna be very miserable in life. If you're a person who looks at the NPCs and thinks like black person, you're part of the problem. You're the racist. But anyway, what do we know? Hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching. No, anyway, that's going to do for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.